is that we all get it. Don't give in to the pain, just keep living, cause
got dreams I'm striving for. So I'm gonna live higher. I'm gonna live higher. I got dreams I'm striving.
What's up, guys? It's Toby Rosario. So today I just wanted to do a video on just a couple quick tips on how to get the number out of the seller. I know this is pretty common. I know when there's going to be situations where you want to get the number out of the seller, you never want to give the number out first, because as you know, the person who gives out the number first in a negotiation always lose. But before I get started, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell notification. That way you get notified whenever I post a new video. Also, smash that like button. Smash that like button. It does help get the video to other, get recommended to other people, right? So I got the script here, so I won't forget. Some of these I've heard of people use. Some of these are on my own, or I just kind of regurgitated, put it in my own words. Some of these things, and also comment below. Let me know what's your favorite one-liners or favorite tips or ways that you can get the seller to say his number. And the reason that's important is because if you watch one of my other videos, I made an extra $8,000 on a deal because I didn't give the number out first, right? It's very important you try not to give that number out first when you're negotiating, because the person who gives out the first number in a negotiation usually loses, right? So another tip to keep in mind, you try to get them, try 7 times before giving out that number. Like, keep pushing back, push back, at least 7 times before you actually, if you're forced to give out a number, that's when you would do it, when you're kind of forced to give out a number. But you always want to push back a little bit, push back at least 7 times. That way, you can see kind of where their head's at, because you might offer something that's a lot higher than what they were thinking. So you always want to keep that in mind. So I'll just kind of read some of these tips, some of these questions, or some of these ways to, to get the number out of the seller. So if we could pay all cash, cover all closing costs, and buy it as is, about how much would you take for the property, right? So that's a direct question. You're telling them the benefits. Paying all cash, you're buying it as is. How much would you take for the property, right? And sometimes you're going to get some pushback. Well, I don't know, or something like that. So whenever they say something like that, I always say, I won't hold you to it, but can you give me a ballpark figure, like a ballpark figure about how much were you looking to get? Were you looking to get 20? I'm going to use, simple numbers here to keep it simple. Like, are you looking to get 20, anywhere between 20, 30, 40, 50? Like, what's the range you're in? Just give me a ballpark figure. I won't hold you to it. I just need to know where we're at. And that way, a lot of times they'll give that number out. So that's a good way to kind of rebuttal that. You want to also just say, can you give me a ballpark figure? So at least you have a range of where they're at mentally as far as with the price. Another thing that you can say, you can kind of put it on them is, so how much do you think the property's worth? So that number in their head they might, based on the condition, they might say it might be worth something a lot less than what you were originally looking to pay for it, right? To offer. And also it gives you another idea of where they're at with their number. Like is it unrealistic, or is it somewhere in that range where you need to be? So that's a good question to ask. Or like, what are some homes similar to yours in the area selling for? Do you know how much they're selling for in this particular area, in the same condition, same property type? That's another direct question. You want to put it on them. You want to push back and answer a question with a question. That way they're forced to kind of give an answer, right? Or give you where they're at as far as a number. Let's see here. Like, if they say, I don't know, I can say, I understand you don't know, but if you did know, or you were to take a guess, give me an idea of what would you say it's worth? What do you think? Like, where'd your head's at? You want to kind of, you're essentially repeating all the same questions. You're just kind of reframing it, wording it a little bit different. So that's another, like, a one-liner. Let's see here. Another question you can ask. Do you know what the tax assessor's values your house at? Have you looked up the tax assessor's value on this property? Same condition, same property type, same bedroom, bath. That way, again, you're trying to get a number out of them before you give out your number. And then this was a good one. With so much information available today, you must have some sort of opinion of what your house is worth, especially if you're considering selling it, you must have some sort of idea. You must have some sort of number that you're looking to get for the property if you're selling it, right? Because the truth is, when you're selling it, you're going to tell the buyer, whoever that is, whether you're selling a house, a car, whatever item, you have some sort of idea in your head, like what you would let it go for at the very least. So most sellers have an idea of what they have a number in their head. They just don't want to give that number out first, because then they know if they give that number out first, they could lose on potentially making more money than they originally thought. So just keep that in mind. And then this was a good one. Like I've had this before. I've rebutted with this when they keep pushing back and say, well, what are you willing to give for it? Well, I always say, like, jokingly, I always say, well, if it were up to me, I would love it for free. And then you kind of just let them know that you're joking. That way you have, you kind of also psychologically, in a lot of ways, lower their expectation a little bit, right? You're kind of telling them that you're looking for a good deal, right? You're looking for a discount. So that's a good way to also, let them know that you're looking for some sort of a discount, right? You want to set the expectation. You're not looking to buy the property retail. You're looking to buy the property at a discount. And then also another one is, sometimes I'll say, like, what if I would offer you $1? And then they'll say, like, what, are you crazy? Why would I sell it for $1? And then I can reply back and say, like, so you do have a price in mind. You have some sort of number in mind. You just don't want to tell me, or something like that. So you want to answer a question with a question and revert it back to them. Put it back on them to give you that number. Another one that you can say is, I've talked to a lot of homeowners in this area. They seem to have some sort of magic number that'll make them happy. What is that magic number to you if you were to get it, so you can sell this property? What's that magic number? What's that? I'll take no less than this. What is that number, right? So again, you want to put it back on them so they can give you that number. You never want to give them that number. Comment below. Let me know in the comments what are some good ways, or what are some questions you tell your sellers so you can get that number out of them when you're trying to negotiate a deal. That's my time. My name's Realestate. Peace.